What's up, VexXFam? Razor here, and today we are going to talk about the Call of Duty World League. So guys, I might be a little bit late on this one, but I wanted to make sure that I got all of the information that I could so that I could share that information with you guys and we could go over it. So, if you haven't heard, Activision is now going to be taking over Call of Duty and running their own World League. They have seen the success in the provider of the game being the backbone of the eSports side of things. They've seen the structure be a big benefit, and so they're going to go ahead and they're going to give it a try. So, starting 2016, Activision will now be running their own World League, and this does a whole bunch of changes, and we're going to talk about them. But first of all, let's start getting into what the Activision League really is. So essentially, it's going to be a pro division league that plays into Call of Duty World Champs. They're also going to have an AM side of things, basically the Challenger League, for AM teams and semi-pro teams to be able to work their way up and try to compete with these other guys, as well as trying to get their own spot in the Call of Duty Championship at the end of the year. So that's also another significant change, is that Call of Duty Champs is no longer the first big event for the game. It's going to be the final event for the game, which I think that's the way it always should have been. You know, being that the game has already gone through all the changes, you'll have the best version of the game at the end of its cycle, and then you finish up with Call of Duty Champs and you move on to the next game. That seems to always be making sense to me. I'll move on to the next Call of Duty. So they have moved it to be that way now, and so they have talked about how this is going to be a worldwide event. There's going to have there's going to be a regional championship. There's going to be EU. There's going to be a bunch of other areas, Australia. So the idea is that there's going to be a couple of events that are regional competitions that the pro teams go and they play in, and they play into Call of Duty Champs. So you place in a certain area, the top 8, say, at these events, then you solidify your spot into Call of Duty Champs. They haven't really gone into much more detail about how people are going to get ranked pro. Are they going to use the rankings from MLG? Are they going to have online competition qualifiers to get rankings? We don't really know exactly how that's going to work. We do know that most of everything that's going to be done through the leagues are going to be online, broadcasted, and streamed, and so on and so forth, making Call of Duty much more online played, because the online competitions are going to be much more meaningful because it plays into a much bigger scenario now. Activision has also announced that $3 million now in overall prize pool, meaning that they have $3 million from the start of the season to the end of the season to be able to put into the prize pooling. I believe we watched the ESR a couple of days ago, and Benson and Puckett were talking about this, and they could do the split a lot of different ways. They really haven't gone really into much detail about it, but you can expect that every tournament that they will be holding will at least be $100,000 or higher throughout each region, and then the big show being at least $1 million. How they divvy up that money in between, we don't really know, but we can say that if they do like 100, 150, and then move up, we could see Call of Duty Champs be $2 million. Or we could see, like 300K, 150K here and there, and then being the big show being the $1 million. We don't know yet. All we can say is there's a lot more money to be had in Call of Duty now. You're tripling the prize pool, essentially, because throughout the year you might get, I would say, like, let's say 1.3 mil in total prize pool when you take up Call of Duty Champs and then all of the other events combined. So being that it's $3 million now is a huge deal. Very, very big. So the next topic is that they have made it 18+. And this is a big cry out for a lot of the esports players and teams that have players that are younger, like Hook, and like TJ Haley, and some of these upcoming players. So yeah, it is going to be 18+ now, and the people that are playing professionally now are going to have to take a step back and wait till they turn 18 to be able to play. So it's going to be interesting because that means that the pool of professional players is going to be much slimmer than it was in the past, being that you could pick up upcoming rising stars and not have to worry about how old they were. Now everybody has to be 18 or older to be able to compete, even in the Pro League, not just Call of Duty champs. So that's all the competitions, 18 plus. So that's going to be a really big change for Call of Duty because widely, in the past, MLG and UMG have had their success based on a lot of these other teams that'll come out there in the and play in the open bracket. And there's kids that are, I've seen 10-year-olds come out and play as a full team. So it's going to really change how many people are competing in Call of Duty. I don't necessarily think that that means it's going to change how many people are watching Call of Duty, but we will get to that. So yeah, that's another major change. And then they're also talking about implementing a dress code to eSports, making coaches and owners have a certain attire that they have to maintain, and players having a certain attire that they have to maintain. And this is another big issue in the Call of Duty community because a lot of people say that the majority of Call of Duty is played online in the comfort of your own home, and people are used to playing in their pajamas, their underwear, chilling there, doing whatever. And so comfortability has become a part of their overall experience when they compete. I can see that side of things, but we also got to see that this sport is growing to be an actual sport. And in an actual sport, you have a certain level of professionality that is supposed to be maintained. You look at professional football. They wear their jerseys, they wear their team shirts. When they do interviews afterwards, they are wearing a suit. It makes a lot of sense to me, being that, TBS just picked up a whole new league and is going to be broadcasting on their cable television show plus on ESPN. We've already seen Heroes of the Storm on ESPN. We've seen Call of Duty on ESPN with the X Games. It's getting to the point now where it's not just this thing that young kids are getting involved in. It's this thing that has a future for young kids to be able to get scholarships and to be able to do a lot more than just what they were doing in the past. It's just been growing more and more over the years. So we have to suck it up. It's up to the players to be able to say, okay, we have to take a professional stance on this and just do it. I know a lot of you guys, especially like TJ Haley, we've seen him come out in his pajama bottoms and go out there and smash players. But he's going to have to end up figuring it out, and if that is how he feels most comfortable, he is going to have to figure out a way how to make it more comfortable. It's just bottom line is the sport is growing to a point where professionality needs to be key because we want to get more eyes on it. Sure, the people that have been involved in the scene since 2013 or earlier, they know how the players are, they understand the scene, but we want more eyes on it. We want new players come in. We want new eyes on it. And when they see people that are running around in their pajama bottoms and such, and flip-flops and shirts that aren't representing their team, they don't see a professional atmosphere and they look at our sport like a joke. And that's not what we want. We want to be able to be recognized as actual athletic people that are, in an actual sport that should be legitimized as an actual sport and is getting that way. So, that being said, the attire might actually be a thing that is confirmed here shortly. We don't know. It's kind of up in the air. But I think that it's a great move forward in all directions. I'm really glad that Activision had stepped up to the plate and said, hey, we're going to do this. And hopefully there's a place for you, MLG, and UMG to be able to help us out. We don't know what their role is going to be yet. We haven't really heard anything if it's going to be maintainedly streamed on MLG networks or if it's going to move back to Twitch. There are still a lot of things that are up in the air for this league. But all in all, I think that it's a great move forward for Call of Duty eSports. It's something that has been needed for a while to grow this sport and to get more money behind it and to get more people behind it. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are too. We're going to be ready when it happens, so keep looking out for that. And absolutely, really, really, really excited for the Call of Duty World League. So If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to hit it down below and I will reply to you. What do you guys think about the Call of Duty World League? And what do you guys think about all the other changes? 18 plus and having a professional attire mandatory. Hit me up with those comments and we will see you next time, guys. Later on.